do you want to come online and introduce yourself?
Okay, first, thank you guys for holding this workshop. My name is Mustafa. I got my CS degree in 2013, and since then, I've been mostly doing technical account management and technical solutions and technical support, essentially. And then on the side, I've been doing Android development on and off. And I'm finally trying to break into a full-time Android role. And my biggest hurdle is I get denied for 9F experience. So
I see. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Let's go through your resume. It's great that we're getting all kinds of different experience. We had a career transition boot camp, and we have a college student, and we have someone who's been in the industry for a while. So we get to look at all kinds of different resumes. So I like your header a lot. It's very clean, easy to read. This is a great example. Everyone should follow this. We have the phone number, email, website, LinkedIn profile, and the city state. This is all the information you need in your header. It's very like cleanly organized. It's not taking up too much excess space, yet it's easy to read. So follow this formatting, everyone. Let's look at the technologies, the languages and the framework. They're very clear. Projects. So I highlighted these projects. So you're sort of going through a career transition too. You're trying to transition from different fields of engineering. Would you say that's right?
that's correct. Yep.
Yeah. So normally I would say if you've been working in the industry for a while, you don't really need to list out your projects. But in your case, I can see why you would want to do that because you want to highlight your Android development experience. So sure, in that case, I would include them, but are these all Android?
No, they're not.
And are you absolutely focused on Android or are you applying for other jobs too?
Currently, I'm focused on Android, but it's proving to be difficult, so I might have to expand.
Okay, so in that case, if you end up expanding, I would also encourage you to have multiple resumes. You would have one for Android, one for iOS, one for whatever else that you're applying for. I recommend people who are doing multiple resumes to have a master resume. So you're gonna have this will be your master resume where you list all of your projects. And let's say, okay, you found one that is Android specific. Then you're gonna just pick out your Android projects and remove all the rest. And then for your iOS, you can pick out the iOS and then remove the Android ones. And what I would do is I would look at the job requirements of the exact position that you're applying for, and then try to read like what they're looking for. Everyone uses slightly different wording. So we'll look for the vocabs they're using and then change your resume slightly from your master into whatever company you're applying for. Okay, professional experience. I think we did this with Jenny's resume too. So if you worked at one place for multiple positions, you want to highlight that because otherwise, initially when I saw this resume, I thought, oh, this guy's been working for a while, but he's changed jobs like every year. I don't want to work with that guy because he's going to ditch my company and go somewhere else in a year. But if you show you got promoted and you had a career progress, that's a great thing. You stayed with one company through multiple positions. You want to highlight that. So I removed the company name and the location, put it on top, and then grouped these two together to make it clear. Maybe add some more space here to make it clear that this was one company and you are able to grow with the company. I also bolded this to make it consistent. Like I mentioned earlier, if you decide you're going to bold all of your titles, you're going to bold all of your titles. So it doesn't matter what order you put, like you could have the company names first, titles first, but whatever you do, just make it consistent so it's easy to process the information. Same thing with this, I pulled out the company name and then grouped these two together. Do you have Android experience in your professional experience?
The only one is right in the middle of the screen, but it's self-employed, meaning like I develop my own app. It wasn't professional.
I see. Okay, that was the question that I wrote too. Self-employed. So this is on the App Store though, right?
Yes, it is.
Did you have a name for this?
Yes.
So I
It's
would,
under the projects at the very top. I guess I should incorporate that into the.
Is it the should I?
Yeah.
So I would, okay, so even if this was your own project, it's on the App Store and it's live and people are using it, I wouldn't say self-employed. I would say, should I? I would say, I built my own app and it's live on Google Play. So technically that could be professional experience. I would maybe then remove this from the project and include it in here. Pick one place to put it in. Because when you said self-employed, I wasn't sure if you were building for a client or if you were building it for yourself. But I would just put the name of the app here. Android engineer, develop them end-to-end mobile application using da da da. Okay. Build front end navigation. Okay. Same advice as the other people. So what? How many users did you have? Maybe you made something X times faster. Engineering teams, like how many people were on your team? And similarly to your project for your professional experience as well, I would look at individual job postings and see what are the wording they're using, and then try to use that in your bullet points. And also in your case, because you're technically doing a career transition, so it might be easier for you to focus your job search on smaller companies, maybe even as a contractor, and that would give you a better opportunity because you're looking for an opportunity to prove yourself.
Okay, great.
All right. Do we have any other questions?
Thank you very much.
I have a question.
Yes.
So currently I'm doing a boot camp, and all my experience are the projects that I worked during the boot camp. Well, my engineering experience actually. So I'm wondering that would that be enough from the employer's point of view, just seeing those projects as my experience, or what do you recommend to show them that I have the skill set and my boot camp wasn't like because when they see it, they might think that it was just a 3 months program, but it was really intense, and I was able to learn, I think, a lot of stuff within that 3 months. How can I convince that this was a really good education?
So in that case, there are a couple of routes you can take. So some companies like Facebook, Google, Microsoft, LinkedIn, they have what's called rotational engineering program, or different names for each company. But essentially what it is they're saying, I know you don't have work experience, but I'm going to invest in you and provide mentorship for you and recruit you as part of this program, expecting that I'm going to train you for another year. If you don't have any other experience other than your projects, these are going to be the best bets. Do you understand there are a lot of boot camps, and all the people who are graduating from boot camps are all going to go for these limited number of programs. So it's going to be competitive. It's a lot on the employer because if I'm hiring you fresh out of boot camp, I'm assuming, yes, you know how to do projects, but you don't actually have any experience working in real company, like live experience, professional experience. Maybe you have professional experience in other roles, but that doesn't necessarily apply technically. So I'm going to have to teach you a lot. And maybe I'm an employer that doesn't have that kind of bandwidth, or maybe I don't know how to train people, or maybe I don't want to do it. So with those companies, you're going to have a difficult time getting a job. And that's why I recommend getting like volunteer work at nonprofits, or ask around, see if your friends are willing to have you work for them for free and build them an app or build them a website that real people are using. If you build an app, like put it on the App Store, then it becomes a real life project, not a personal project.
That makes sense. And one follow-up question. I was wondering if there's a specific time throughout the year for applying these rotational programs, or is it open?
Every company has different deadlines, so you have to poke around, ask around to get the different deadlines for every single company.
Got it. All right. Thank you so much.
So my ex-husband used to lead this kind of thing. I forget what it was specifically called at LinkedIn. And I know that it's extremely competitive. They just get mobs of people looking for a position. So I remember him getting slammed when they opened up. So I think that's why Jean keeps suggesting applying for internships or ways to do free work, and that might accelerate the process a little bit faster, even though it might feel like you're giving away your time. Quick question for everyone on that note. How many of you would want to do unpaid internships to get real experience? Could you raise your hand so we can see? Because what I'm wondering is it that there's lack of opportunities, or is it that that's not really what you would want to do? Okay, so a lot of people. Okay. So one thing we could consider is that Jean and I have been running free events for startup folks. So Jean also coaches founders and engineering managers in addition to aspiring engineers. And so we have been hosting free events for founders and engineers to meet each other. So we called it Startup Speed Dating. If you guys are interested, will you send us an email? Our email is in the Q&A. And we can gauge the interest level and maybe host a free event for you to meet with startup folks and try to find internships that way. So shoot us an email if you are interested. If we have enough folks, we could possibly arrange something like that. We're not really in the business of exchanging data. We're not going to share your information with the founders or vice versa, but we're certainly open to having events where you can meet each other and make connections if that's what people are interested in. And also, if you liked this and would like us to do another one, let us know, and we're open to that as well. We want to make sure that our talks are valuable to you. So if there are other topics you would like to hear, let us know. Well, thank you everyone for your time, and we hope to see you again soon.